Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're into DIY, upcycling, and budget projects, you're in the right place. Today we're doing something a little wild. I'm going to show you how I built a working Motoroller battery out of old, used up vape pens. Yeah, seriously. This is actually my second build, and spoiler, it works really well. So why am I doing this? Well, used vape pens are everywhere. Most of them still have working lithium-ion cells inside, and they're usually about 400 mAh each. Instead of letting them end up in the landfill, I thought, hey, let's turn this trash into something cool. For this project, I grabbed 45 vape batteries, and built a 3S15P pack, meaning 3 cells in series, to get the voltage I need, and 15 cells in parallel, to boost capacity and current output. That gives me just enough power to start my small electric scooter, and surprisingly, it handles it like a champ. So first things first, I needed to salvage all these vape cells. It's a bit tedious, and you have to be careful. There's a lot of glue, and sometimes the wires are really short. Here are a few tips if you want to try this yourself. Always wear gloves and eye protection. Make sure the vapes are fully discharged, or discharge them manually before opening. Use a small flathead screwdriver to gently pry them open. Avoid shorting the cells, they will spark if you touch the wrong spots. Once I had all 45 cells extracted, I checked each one with a multimeter. Any that were at 0 volts or badly swollen I tossed. Only about 5 were unusable out of 50, so not bad. I charged the good ones individually to storage voltage, and then matched them into groups with similar voltages and internal resistance. Now comes the fun part, building the actual pack. Like I said, this is a 3S15P configuration, which means it gives me a nominal voltage of 11.1 V, with a full charge at 12.6 V. The capacity adds up to around 6 amp hours, 400 mAh x 15, and in reality it's a bit more because some vapes had slightly higher capacity. I used nickel strip and a spot welder to connect the cells, though if you don't have one, you could solder them, but it's riskier and not ideal for lithium cells. After that, I added a 40 amp BMS, battery management system, to protect the pack from overcharging, over-discharging, and short circuits. Really important, don't skip the BMS, especially if you're going to power something like a scooter. To keep it all secure, I modeled a custom case in Fusion 360 and printed it on my 3D printer. It holds the cells tight and has space for wiring, the BMS, and even ventilation. For the terminals, I kept things simple. I repurposed some old screws and copper tabs I had lying around. Nothing fancy, just functional. I also wired in a small voltage indicator display so I can quickly check the battery level, super helpful when you're out riding. Once everything was wired up and tested, I secured the lid with some screws and heat shrinked the whole thing for extra safety. I hooked it up to my scooter, turned the key, and, boom, it worked on the first try. Cranked up just fine, and ran great. I've done a few short rides already and no issues at all. Temps stay cool, current draw is within what the pack can handle, and the BMS hasn't had to step in yet. Now, would I recommend this to everyone? Well, only if you're comfortable with electronics and lithium batteries. Vape cells can be dangerous if damaged or misused, so always respect them. But if you're into recycling, DIY electronics, and getting a real sense of satisfaction from building something from junk, it's a super fun project. This build cost me almost nothing, just time, a bit of nickel strip, and a cheap BMS. And now I've got a battery that would cost 50 plus euros if I bought it new. So that's it for today. DIY vape battery for a Motoroller done. If you like this build, hit that like button, maybe subscribe if you're into these kinds of budget, upcycled tech projects. Drop a comment below if you've ever tried something similar, or if you've got a drawer full of old vapes and don't know what to do with them. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.